Hello, welcome to episode 44 of Let's Run Facebook Ads, the podcast, with me, Nick Boddington, and James Urquhart. Today, we are getting you ready for Black Friday, but we're doing it in rant style. And it's after hours. It's no longer the work day. So strap yourself in, because this is going to be a bumpy ride. Evening, James. Evening. You're right. You might as well start, because you've got a big bumblebee in your bonnet, so you might as well kick off. And I've told everyone to strap in, so that people are probably starting to log in now or come onto the Facebook group and see what it's all about, because they're probably sitting having dinner, bored because no one's got anything to do in their own lives. So Black Friday, we're going to educate people on what they should do for it. Liv will be watching this going, guys, we need to get people's ads ready. We need to speak to our clients about Black Friday and what they're going to do. James, over to you. No swearing.
No swearing. Or let's get the stuff out of the way in terms of the boring stuff. So when is Black Friday? It's the 26th of November this year, a Friday. And the reason why we're discussing this so early is because last year we saw Black Friday offers in October, late October, within certain. What are you giggling at? We did.
I know.
It was October last year. It was crazy.
I know.
You had people like Very, you had Argos, Amazon. They're all sort of already promoting Black Friday, and it's bloody October. So, with it being the end of August going into September, you've pretty much got potentially 6 to 8 weeks till you're competing against the likes of Argos and Very and Amazon. So it's not long, is it?
It's not long, and it's utterly ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, when did Black Friday start? It's what, 10 years, 15 years ago, was it? Not even that. Actually, not even that.
No, I was going to say, I think you're a bit. I think it entered the market, I'd say probably 10 years ago, really. But, it went crazy, I'd say, 6 years ago, really? It went 7 years ago. But has it lost its touch? Are consumers now more cottoned on to actually some of these deals aren't great? Because that's the other problem now, because it's not just one day anymore. Suddenly it was a Saturday as well, and then it was a weekend, and then it was a week, and then it was October suddenly within such a small amount of time. Has it devalued what Black Friday is about? And because all the big brands, the likes of Argos and these massive marketing budgets get pushed behind it, for the smaller e-commerce sites, is it even worth it? Because consumers are going to want a fat discount.
Yeah, that's the thing. We said earlier, we talk about when our clients are going, oh yeah, well no, let's do a 10% offer. And it's like, no. There's no point in even doing a 10% offer in normal times, because we're blind to 10% offers. It's standard. Join my email list for 10% offers. And I think, just to quickly go onto that, because I think it's good content, is that if you need to see the value in what someone's private email address is to them, you need to sort of put a price on what you think that consumer is going to do to give you their email address. It's not 10%, is it? It's not 10% any day. So leading on to Black Friday, what's the consumer going on for? And I said it to you earlier, Amazon starts building up to it, doesn't it? For what, 3 weeks, something like that? Black Friday is coming. Get this kettle. Get this. They're not showing how much it is. You want a bloody good offer when you get there. I'm always disappointed a lot of the times, because consumers start getting ready for it, don't they? Some get up early, like it's a bloody next sale, and they're queuing down the road at 5 o'clock in the morning because the next sale's starting on a Saturday. That's how it used to be. It's the same thing now. But I don't think you need to do it if you don't want to do it.
I think the Black Friday bubbles burst because it's not just Black Friday anymore. Like I said, it's now extended to like a month or week or whatever it may be, depending on who the brand is. But like I said, because you've got those big brands pushing, vast amount of marketing budget behind it, because you've got to now. Unfortunately, the likes of Argos and Amazon, these types of businesses, they have to do it. They have to be seen to be, having these Black Friday deals. They've got to now. They can't not. It's, it's like the Coca-Cola Christmas advert. They've got to do it every year. They've got to. Like, it's within their strategy for the year. There you go. But the problem is, like I said, because all those brands are pushing so much money behind it, if you're a small or e-commerce shop, like let's say Tom at Nomad or Victor as an example, are you really want to compete? Do you want to compete in that within that time? Because if the consumer's going to want, let's say, 33% off the RRP, just I'm throwing that figure out there, but your margin is 40%, you've then got a 7% buffer to acquire that customer.
Yeah,
it's not a lot, depending on what how expensive your product is. So that's why what you said then about having that email list. That's when that email list is so valuable, because imagine that you didn't have paid advertisement tomorrow. Imagine it just got turned off. Suddenly you've still got access to those customers or those prospects.
So you're saying you'd still, so let's say you've got a list of 5,000 buyers who bought from you, know you and trust you and like your product. Would you still do a Black Friday deal to those?
I would. So let's give an example. Let's say I was selling sunglasses. Let's just use Tom as an example. So let's say that Black Friday is coming and I had a shipment of new stock coming in, and I know that I can sell those sunglasses, let's say £75, £50. I can't compete, really, can I? Because I'm not willing to devalue my brand right now, but also there's just not enough margin there. So is there much point? Would I still do a Black Friday offer? Yes, potentially, but it doesn't have to be great. It's a bit, it's a bit like those 10% offers now that, you go on a website, you come off it and they really hit you with the 10%. It's very rare that, like we said before, it's sort of white noise now, isn't it?
Yeah. The consumer's blind to it. It doesn't, 10% is just it's not good enough, is it?
No, but also is Black Friday for those smaller impulse buys? I don't think it is. I think that Black Friday, and this is just how it's marketed, I think it's for those big purchases. So it's for your TVs at Curry's, it's for your Nintendo Switches or your Xboxes for your kids because Christmas is around the corner. For your tablets, you've got teenage kids which are more into tech and stuff. Do you go into Black Friday going, right, those higher purchase items, I'm going to see what deals around there? I personally don't think I would, not that I buy a lot online, as you know, but I don't think I would go online and Black Friday and go, oh,
yeah,
that's a lovely mug. That
I think you're absolutely right. I actually think last year I thought to myself leading up to it, what do I need? What do I need? Household appliances, things like that, potential Christmas presents that I'm going to save 50 quid on a 150 or 200 pound item. So Amazon, you are looking at, you're going through Amazon and they know this as well. They're going to be getting rid of old stock. Argos is going to get rid of old stock. They'll be looking at those decent thing, kettles and stuff. And that's exactly how people look. Whereas, the smaller businesses, you're absolutely right. And you know what? It creates anxiety for them. When you speak to the clients, they're actually starting to really start thinking and panicking. Oh, do I do it or not? What do I put in the sale? Do we do this? Do we do that? I remember our jewelry client, she didn't run it last year. She was like, I'm not getting involved in that.
No, and I don't think for, like I said, those smaller items, the margin's not there. Forget Black Friday.
Or get rid of old stock.
So this is the catch-22. If you've got old stock, and obviously, a friend of ours, Christian Nick, in the garment apparel market, he has loads of old stock, and he always used to say, didn't he? Black Friday is when I literally roll out just the crap, essentially, that I can't sell during the year.
But he would do like those. He would be a little bit more. Remember that one he did where it was like a mystery box.
Yes.
But it went so well, he carried on and he still got sales out of it. So it was like, 5 garments or 5 t-shirts, but you don't know what you're going to get in a mystery box, but it was an unbelievable price. He was flying them out, wasn't he? But it's just old stuff that he's picking out of boxes and just throwing them into another box and packing up.
But why would you, if you've got, let's say you're Apple and you've got the new AirPods that are a fortune, but you've then got your old stock, your older AirPod versions. If you're going to do a Black Friday deal, why would you do it on the new ones?
You're not going to. There. We're not. I don't think anyone's going to be going onto Apple this year and going, I wonder what deals they've got.
Exactly that.
It might be the likes of Currys or someone might be getting rid of some of their stock, but they're not. But yeah, it's just not going to happen, is it? Because they don't need to.
No. So I definitely think, using old stock, if you are going in and you're going to sort of, swim in those shark infested waters, I definitely think that using old stock is the way to go. Because you don't want to devalue your newer lines, whether that's, a new TV, a new apparel line, new sunglasses, whatever it may be. And especially actually if you've got one product. So if you're a product like, let's say Victor as an example, who's got right now a product, would you really want to sort of, compete?
Well, that's the thing. Well, look at him. If he still hasn't got his stock over in the US yet, but he's selling more than 50% of his stuff is going to the US. People are paying £50 to get his £115 item to the US. He's not going to give it. He can't afford to really give a discount on that. It's costing him, money shipped over.
But then if you also look at actually, consumers, so let's say that they did want that older pair of Apple headphones as an example. If they're in that buying cycle, and right now the hook is how cheap can I get it? Okay, because everyone's gone into that, like you did last year. What do I need for, appliances, or what can I get the kids, for Christmas? So if you want, let's say, an iPad and it's 150 quid, you're not going to buy it there and then because you're going to shop around because it's Black Friday. So it actually devalues why people are going to your site. So you're driving traffic to that site, and unless you've got a fantastic deal there and then, that consumer is actually sat on their laptop or on their tablet, ready to keep searching for that product.
Adding to cart in 5 places.
So you're actually, even though you're driving, let's say you went down the page route and you're driving traffic to your landing pages or your sales pages or your websites, whatever it may be, the reality is the dwell time is going to just decrease massively than what it usually would, because people are in that, how cheap can I get it? That's the only thing they're there for, because they already know what they want. They know they want that tablet. They know they want that TV, which is why I don't think when you've got smaller products like, say, the jewelry, Anna's jewelry business, there's no point. Because that's an impulse buy. They see, a piece of jewelry, whether it's, their gemstone or whatever it may be, and they go, oh, that's really quirky, actually. My mum would want that, or my nan, or whatever it may be. Oh, I'll buy that for £50. But they're not going into Black Friday looking for that piece of jewelry. I think now, like you said, which is really interesting, is that most people will go into that Black Friday deals and go, I'm looking for X. Yeah. How cheap can I get it?
Even if it's a pair of trainers, like you buy a lot of trainers, you could go, okay, I'm going to look on Nike, Adidas and whatever and see what's on. Because there's going to be some trainer there that's going to serve the purpose and it's going to be 40% off.
Yeah.
And consumers will wait. So, you have to also be prepared that sales are going to dip up to it. Because people are going to be holding onto their pennies waiting for those deals. So that's where, that's where that's where the business, the small business, is starting to, because people will be listening to this now going, okay, well, do I do it or do I not? When do I start it if I choose to start it? I know that with our bigger clients, so the big brands we deal with, they're starting 10 days before it. And I know that the garment manufacturer who deals with all the Aston Martin and all that sort of stuff, they run it for 2 weeks after.
It's for me, it's
nearly the whole month, isn't it? It's nearly the whole month.
It devalues what Black Friday is, for me anyway. And actually, going back onto that 2 week, Can you remember last year that the fitness brand that we were subscribed to and we got our shorts and t-shirts from? They had a Black Friday deal, and I went, do you know what? Actually, I'll buy some shorts because they're cheap. I bought a pair, and what really annoyed me, the day after, it was like an extra Black Friday deal, and it was like £10 extra off. To say that absolutely got me. I was fuming.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I said, she didn't. I was like, cheeky.
Yeah.
So I think if you're going to do a Black Friday deal, and this is just my opinion, and I've got no data to back it up whatsoever, it's Black Friday. It's not Black Wednesday. It's not Black Week. It's Black Friday. And that's
well, we've got Cyber Monday after the weekend.
Yeah.
So then what's Cyber Monday? That's Cyber Monday. So Black Friday was for the shops. And I actually Googled this when we started this call. Okay. So if we type into Google, when did Black Friday start? Black Friday was created in 1961, and it was based around, there was no internet, so it was all based around shops. And I think it just all went away again. I think it must have been Amazon or something. I think it was Amazon who started it again, like made it big. But it was like to get people into shops or whatever. And Cyber Monday was the internet's version of, hey, we want a bit of this. So it's actually supposed to be that Cyber Monday is where you go and get the deals online. That's how I remember it. But Black Friday was the shops, wasn't it?
Yeah, but if you think, let's say you've got Black Friday and you want to buy that tablet or that TV, but Cyber Monday's come in, already you're sort of, doubting yourself. Like with the short scenario, am I going to get it cheaper on Cyber Monday?
Yeah.
And you're then second guessing. You're not only second guessing what supplier I'm going to go to, because let's be honest, if you're buying a certain TV, the reality is they're all the same TV and they're all probably the same price because they've all just checked each other's websites and said that's the price, or the manufacturer said you can't go lower than that. So you've got 1 in 4 chance of getting the sale because you're one of the 4 suppliers. You've also then got 50% on top because you don't know if it's going to be today or Cyber Monday. So you're then up against potentially another 4. It's crazy. I just, like I said, unless you've got crazy budgets that you can throw at it, or you've got a certain objective. So like we said, you've got old stock that you want to get rid of, which is fine, but you can't just dip your toe in. If you've got old stock you've got to go in with, you've got to really give it away. I'm talking, like the end of The Apprentice, on the episodes where they're just like giving away everything.
Yeah.
You've got to throw it out there because otherwise you're going to dip your toe in, absolutely get nothing from it, and you've not even created an audience from the back end of it because the platform's so busy. The only thing that people are going to look for right now is good price hooks. They're not going to look for education or how to, and all that stuff. They're not really interested because the consumer's not there for that. They're there to be sold to and be saving a lot of money. That's what they're there for. They're not there to fall in love with your brand, are they?
And it's not going to be the newest. Well, it's not going to be any Yeezy trainer, is it? It's not going to be any of these trainers. It's not going to be any Apple products. It's going to be the stuff. You didn't know what I was talking about then, did you?
No, I didn't. And I was like, Easy Trainer, what brand's that? But it's the Easy, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry.
Kanye West ones, but everyone's onto them. £400 a trainer, and they're not going to be in a sale. You're not going to walk into one of those cool trainer shops and go, oh, 30% off today. But they don't need to. So if you think about, they're only going to be selling products that they need to sell. It's just the old stuff, isn't it? It's the Amazon getting rid of its old stock. Argos getting rid of its old stock. TVs that have been lying around, they need to get rid of.
And and there are, like I said, the sort of main culprits. So obviously you've got Amazon, Argos, you've got Currys, people like John Lewis. I think they do it quite well, don't they? But even John Lewis, you'd say that they're higher end, aren't they? Really, but they still do them. Very good Black Friday deals. And then you've got online retailers like Very, and obviously people like Gymshark and stuff. So think of the budgets they've got. When you think of like those 7 or 8 I've just said, then look how much money they've got behind them in terms of a marketing budget. for a specific day or week, it's a lot of money, and it's a lot of
a lot of them do stick to it as well. It will be one day. Like, I think Gymshark warm you up to it, don't they? They do those, like, I remember they used to do those sort of like blacked out ads, didn't they? Leading you up to it. Black Friday's coming, and it was one day. It was like you went on there, and then it closed. And if you missed out, it was sold out. It's gone.
Because I think it's one of those, isn't it? If you want to, if you really want to, obviously, look, they've got an audience, haven't they? So it's, they're a sort of rare breed, but they know that they've got 24 hours, and you bring that scarcity tactic into it, don't you? That fear of missing out. And that's why with this Black Friday week, month, and obviously Cyber Monday, I just really think it devalues it. And it's fine for Amazon, it's fine for Argos, because they are who they are, and they know that, what they're going to do. But if you're a smaller brand, and suddenly, like that clothing brand, for us, they annoyed me. Well, how many other people would that have annoyed? And when you've got such a small base, you don't really want to upset any in the apple cart, do you, really?
No.
For the sake of selling some older products for no margin, it's just really to get out your warehouse. Is it really that worth? Is it really worth it?
So I think that's what every business is. With the businesses that we're dealing with, you need to think about this, whether you're selling courses or whatever. Actually, that's something we can talk about, not just the retail side, because you start seeing the online courses and stuff doing their little Black Friday deals, etc. Don't you?
Yeah, you do. But again, depending on the cost of that course, courses are a funny one, because obviously there's no, apart from marketing budget and that initial cost up front to create the course, you haven't got it's just profits. You've just got a marketing budget behind it, so you're able to bring them into your value ladder a lot cheaper, or even lose money on them potentially, as long as you know what your conversions are. And but again, if you go back to, there's only a finite amount of time on this platform, because that's what we trade in time, isn't it? We trade time for money pretty much with CPMs. If it's that expensive, look at the travel industry, if we give that an example. So when we were allowed to travel again in the UK, the CPMs went up by 3.5 times when we were running those ads for that new travel brand. Crazy, wasn't it? And that was just traffic, 3.5 times the amount. So, I'm not saying that that's going to happen during Black Friday, but more people. It's
going to get expensive up to it, isn't it? And just to let people know who are listening, CPM is the cost per 1,000 impressions. So that's what it costs to get 1,000 people to see your ad. If you don't know that, you need to pay attention in Ads Manager.
So, again, there's going to be a lot more on the people advertising on the platform. But also, if you think over the last 18 months, what have most businesses done over the last 18 months? Gone online. So if most businesses have gone online in the last 18 months, and they're new to this digital space, because they are running ads, they're running PPC, all the rest of it, the reality is Black Friday is going to be even more expensive for us to get sales. Now, this is just me spitballing, but it would make sense if you were to align the dots. Pretty much, that's what I think. So I think, with even courses, yes, absolutely, it's just making sure that you don't get stung, and it doesn't, you don't go in, like I said, dipping your toe in, or you don't go in with a clear objective, because otherwise you're gonna come out and go, well, that was 10 grand I've lost, and I don't really got a lot from that.
For someone who is doing lead gen or trying to get someone into a value ladder, it's actually a great little opportunity as well, though, isn't it? So, like, I was thinking this morning about funnels, and I know this is digressing very slightly, but if you're selling a course at £1,000 or 1,500 quid, a lot of the time what people will do is they'll then go, oh, I know, I'll do a mini course for 26 quid, and they'll put in not a lot of effort into the actual marketing or the funnel around that mini course, when in actual fact it's just as hard to get someone to spend 26 quid as it is to get them to spend 1,500 quid. Your copy needs to be just as good. It all needs to be as good as if you're selling 1,000, because a lot of people find it harder to sell £1,000 course. So then they just move down to a £26 course. Now, Black Friday could be used to get someone into your funnel. So you could do that mini course with a Black Friday deal of sign up, free for the next 24 hours. Now, in the hope that if your audience and your targeting is good, or you've already been feeding and creating an audience over the last however long, trying to get people into it and they haven't converted. Good way of trying to get people to convert and then get your nurturing going with email campaigns and things like that. Now, that's something that could work quite well.
Or people in that buying cycle, aren't they?
Yeah, well, it's just, it could be used to tip someone over the line. E-commerce is just getting that sale, isn't it? And they've gone again, they've got something at a discount. But if you can tip someone over the line, and they can come into your funnel and you've actually got some email automation going and things like that, that's quite a good way. And it's something to test, isn't it?
Well, especially if people are making, really, big purchases, so let's say TVs or, whatever that may be, because they're not cheap, aren't they? But if you go and buy a TV from Curry's, or you go shopping in London and you spend a fortune,
yeah,
I can guarantee you'll spend more money on your lunch that day than you normally would, because when you then put it in relative terms to what you've just spent, you'll go, that's not a lot. Does that make sense? So it's just it's use it. So if someone's going out and buying a really expensive TV, if you're offering them a course for 26 quid, a mini course, on a normal day they might not think, 26 quid, can't be asked, whatever that may be. But actually, because they've just spent 1,500 quid on a new TV with a surround sound system, they're like, 26 quid, I'll do that as well. So there are some amazing opportunities to try and get people over the line they're in that buying cycle. They've got their credit cards ready and their TVs. Let's get Christmas going. Oh, I remember that. So it might be a really good way actually of retargeting some of the ones that have sort of not been, like you said, sort of tipped over the line. So yeah, absolutely, I think there's some really good opportunities in there. It's just like I said, it's just how busy is that platform going to be, and unfortunately, when it's busy, it's expensive, isn't it? So that's the hard bit with this.
Yeah,
you don't really know.
So I think to really conclude it is, I'm hoping that people who listen to this podcast will just start thinking about it and start thinking, do I do it or not? Because it's not. I think a business just gets completely swept away with whether they should do it or not. And I don't think that's that hard a decision. I think you just need to think about what you're prepared to spend on it. You probably can't just keep your budget to if you're only spending 20 quid a day on your house normally, and then you're just going to spend 20 quid a day on Black Friday. It's not the here or there. You need to give it, like you said, some bump and actually build a campaign around it. And what do you want out of that? What are your goals out of that campaign?
Definitely, I would say, tips going to Black Friday, which as we said, it isn't far away now. Is having a clear goal. What is the goal for Black Friday? What am I trying to get out of this? Is it to clear old stock? Is it to acquire new customers that potentially wouldn't buy because they don't typically buy online, but because it's Black Friday, they're just doing it, and getting in the spirit. And also for those ones that are potentially going to purchase, what questions may they ask, that you would need answering. So things like, are they protected with Black Friday deals? Like when you go onto a discount rack in a store, a lot of the time you don't get what's the word I'm looking for? Returns. That's it.
Yeah.
So just so it might be worth looking at leading up to Black Friday, whether that's in your comms email, which again we know is very cheap, and we stressed on here before, just use email. Actually answering some of those questions prior to Black Friday, and making sure that they know that it's only going to be on for 24, 48 hours. You are protected. You can do the returns, and all that stuff. So, can you use Klarna, or, can you spread the payments out? And also, are they real? Because some of the, especially, when people are in that buying cycle, some of the deals do look absurd. But if it's old stock, you really want to, not that you want to tell them it's old stock, of course you don't, but you want to just potentially answer those questions prior to Black Friday. So when Black Friday does hit, hopefully they're ready and they're actually sort of, I'm ready to buy whatever that is, but also to make sure you've crossed every T and dotted every I to
or also use that time to test your audiences and test who's actually going to go buy, because unless you know an audience that's working for you and you use it consecutively, or you've got a large list of people who are already in your purchase, who've already purchased from you, use that. Let's say it's 5 days. Let's say you did 5 days and you did so on day one, you're talking about returns. On day two, you're talking about this is only going to last 24 hours. On day three, you're talking about X. Use that to start testing the different audiences. So use a CBO campaign with 5 different audiences with, interests that are towards your business, and test them. So if you find that X audience B works the best, then you can fire your actual Black Friday campaign out to that audience.
It might also be worth, I was just thinking out loud then, actually, that to try and reduce the bounce rate, because you're going to get a high bounce rate, because like I said, they'll want that tablet or whatever it may be and then search somewhere else. It'd be interesting to see if, depending on what platform you use, actually being able to capture their information, essentially hold that price for them. So they go onto that, let's say that sales page, and let's say the TV is typically £1,000, and today only it's 500.
Yeah.
And make it clear that if you bounce off this website right now, it's going up to 650. End of. The only way you can save that price is by putting in your email address here. We understand, and you can put it in the copy actually. We understand, you're going to go and price check us against competitors, which is fine. We know we're the cheapest, but enable for you to get this price, you need to put in your email here, and we'll email you a code which will hold this price for 24 hours or 12 hours, whatever that may be.
Yeah. I wonder if the text there to do that individually on what someone's added to cart. So what you're saying is, so if let's say it was on Shopify and you've left something in your cart, and you can say that triggers and holds for 24. Well, that triggers and pulls out that deal for that one person what they've left in cart, but it holds that deal for a period of time.
The way, not that we want to get too techie, the way I would personally do it is I'd have in the back, I'd have 2 prices. I'd have price A and price B across the entirety of the website, and that email opt-in automatically defaults to price B with that code. So that code would be universal, but it would change. So then when they go back on, they'd see price A, but obviously when you then put that code into your checkout option, you then see essentially, obviously not that they'd see that, but they'd see the price B pricing, which would be just for those 24 hours. And with obviously a timer on those codes. But that could be a nice way of, again, it's that value exchange, isn't it? We know that the value exchange in Black Friday is just how cheap can I get it? That's it. There's no niceties, there's no education. They know what they're going into, or what they're going in for, sorry. How cheap can I get it? But how, as we as marketers and business owners and e-commerce shops, how can we reduce that volume? And is that a way of doing it? Because the problem is if it's just on cost, the majority of the time we're going to lose as smaller entities, because we're up against, like I said, the Amazons and the Argoses and the Verys and all the rest of it, which is going to be because we don't have that buying power, the manufacturers and the suppliers. So how else can we keep them in? And it's horses for courses. Every product and service is different, and all will have different hooks. But the reality is, the biggest hook during Black Friday is how much you're going to pay for something. And the reality is, it's whoever stacks them cheapest will get them out. Yeah, which is frustrating, because it's against our ethos, and it's against what, like on the last podcast we discussed it. It's against what Facebook is about, because it's a level playing field, isn't it? Which is really, which is exciting for any new brand. But Black Friday is crazy because they're just whacking money into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's Black Friday, basically.
There we go. Rant over.
It wasn't too ranty, actually.
No, there was some education in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, which is always the key. So
okay,
yeah, but we'll do another Black Friday one in a few weeks once we see. We'll start seeing it happen then, won't we? Yeah, absolutely. But definitely go in with a plan. Don't just go in without one, because you'll potentially get burnt. But there are some amazing opportunities. If you've got a really good product and you can get it out cheap and you can still make money from it, or alternatively, you're going to see this as an exercise to acquire customers because you're more focused on the lifetime value, then fantastic. But we understand, and I understand, that not every business has the opportunity to acquire customers at a loss or at a break-even point. So we understand that. So, but if you can, because these buyers and these prospects and customers are in that sort of buying cycle, then again, there's some amazing opportunities out there. But definitely going with a plan and strategize prior.
There you go. Brilliant. Well, I hope you like that, guys. Took something from it. That's it, isn't it?
That's it, Nick. I need to go for a run in 20 minutes. So
okay. Well, have a nice evening. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you on the next Cue Music.
See you later, Nick.
Bye.